Hello, today I'm going to show you how to black border bloody Puddles Chimps. To start, I highly recommend you do a few practice runs in Challenge Editor before attempting this in a real game. This makes it a lot easier because you can see what rounds are going to be hard, and you can also make notes of rounds that you'll have to do certain actions or rounds that you have trouble beating. With that, you will have a much easier time beating this map, and this one is pretty difficult, so you definitely are going to need it. Most of the difficulty comes in the early game, but if you make a slip in the late game, it is very possible that you can die there too. With that being said, let's go on to the black border guide, and for the first 40 rounds, because it's just a hassle to record all of the early game on mobile because I have limited storage on my phone, I decided to just pre-record this in Challenge Editor, and then the rest of the gameplay, kind of the easier part, I'll be doing in the real game. So for round 6, we're going to have the dart and the sub. I recommend lining the sub up with the headlights, and the placements may take a few tries to get, so don't tell me that it doesn't work because the placements don't work. It's just that you're placing them wrong. If you are on PC, you can use coordinates. I can't use coordinates because I'm on mobile, so it does work on mobile, but if somebody has them, I will pin it in the comment. Also, if you make a written guide, I'll pin that too. So going on for round 7, we'll get another dart here, and then this will just be round 7. You can take the dart that was on last for round 6 off. Actually, no, this is round 8. See, I'm already messing things up. And then for round 9, you can place another sub. It's going to get really close on round 9 with that sub at the top for the first one. But after it hits that last red at the way top, it will get evened out, and that round will be fine. Next round, round 10, we're just going to place a sniper up at the top as fast as possible. If you're a little late on placing the sniper, you might die, so just try to get it up there quickly and you will be fine. So right now, and there it is. I'll come back when this round is over. Alright, so for 11, we're going to get the sniper up there, and then I'm going to place a dart right by these pebbles. The eye line can be right by the pebbles. It's not very precise. You're going to be placing the village down there, but you have a lot of room to place that. So that will beat 11. 12 is fine. 13, we're going to get another sniper, and then 14 will get the third sniper. You can buy longer range on 13, but you don't have to do that. I'd recommend not doing that because it allows you to get the snipers a little bit faster. Alright, so round 15 can be quite a scary round. You're going to get another sniper down here, and with the 3 snipers, the dart and the sub, round 15 definitely will get quite close. I usually have to micro the sniper when the second pinks come out because there's usually a green or a blue leaking. Sometimes it will get way closer than this, but if you do the micro correctly, you won't die, but I'd imagine you will end up dying to this round sometime because it's very hard to tell when to change the sniper over to first to get the leaking balloons, and sometimes if you do it too early from bad judgment, you will not hit one of the pinks that are coming through, and that will end up killing you. So if you did not get the longer range earlier, you'll just get it now, and then we'll get advanced intel. And then for 19, we get twin guns, and that will be set. So now I need to defend this other side a little bit, so we'll get some more darts for intel and to pop some balloons. We'll get one that shoots along the straight, set it on last, and then another one over kind of by the water, and we'll just put him on strong. This will make sure that these sides are covered for 21. On 21, sometimes you have to micro the sniper at the bottom. Sometimes you don't, like there I do. So that might happen or not. Just keep an eye on it. 22 will be fine. We're just going to upgrade the sniper at the top right here. And then 23 is a round that can look close. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. If you have to, you can micro a sniper, but we'll just get another dart right under the pond there, and that will beat 23. Sometimes you'll need sniper micro on this one. Alright, so moving on, we can upgrade the sniper to night vision goggles for round 24, and then on round 25 we'll do targeting with the sub. We want to have him on strong and then close after a few of the purples come out, so that we can take out the top layers of the purples, and then if necessary you might have to micro the sniper. Sometimes it doesn't. Unlike me, remember to take the sub off close, and then we will be getting the advanced intel right here on 27. Not advanced intel, the airburst darts. That will be the airburst darts. So the hard part of the early game is pretty much over. Everything's a bit more chill from here. The LEDs are covered, and I'm just going to be getting Striker Jones and doing some upgrades around the screen. So I have not mentioned this already, but this strategy mostly comes from Spiffy's strategy with the Pex Maulers. I did a few alterations because there were some nerfs and buffs. Some things were not consistent in the mid game and early bit of the late game, so I fixed those up, and that's that. I did not come up with a completely different strategy because it would be significantly harder to do and not very optimized well. This one was optimized well, so it wasn't very difficult to do, to make, and it won't be that difficult to play at. So going back to the commentary, we can get a dart down there. The lower dart will upgrade it so it gets camo vision, so the sub can see down there on 33. And then this will beat 33 with the 2 intel and the camo sniper. Now I'm going to be working on this bomb right here. It's going to kind of go in this weird spot. It's right next to the dart, but you want to match it up so it's the closest to the very first lane you can get it to be. It won't touch just yet, but with the range upgrades it will touch. Around 33, you can upgrade that second sniper that has camo vision to 110. That makes this run a bit easier, but you want to stun the rainbows, and then you can upgrade this bomb a little bit later on. You can also stun some of these pink waves. I don't really find it necessary though, and that will beat that round fine. Around 37, it's kind of rare, but sometimes you can die to a pink or yellow balloon if you don't stun some of the leads. It only happened to me once out of like a bunch of times trying, so I just do it to be safe. Then the camos will be no problem with the upgraded sniper. So on round 38, we're completely fine. 39, we're completely fine. So I'm going to start building my ALK. You don't have to do any specific ALK timing. I place down at completely random times every single time, and I not once had an issue. So I'm going to have the ALK down, and on round 40, when the maul pops, we use the concussive shell on the insides. That will stun the insides, and even if you get bad RNG and it pops super low, you'll be fine because the sub will clean up all of the insides. So it's going to pop, concussive shell, the sub cleans up. That's round 40, and now I'm going to be going on to the actual game. This is pretty much the same setup. A few towers might be shifted over a few pixels, but it is the exact same early game, and that is around 40. Now let's go on. So first thing I'll have to do is I did not show this in the video because I did this before round 40 started, I think, but all snipers go to first, or else you might die in 41 due to a random late game balloon. Then we get the stronger stimulant as fast as possible, and that will make sure round 41 is fine. For 42, we have some extra camos, so we just have to upgrade that dart over to be able to see camo, so we can beat all of those. And then on 43, we can just let that play out. I'm going to be building a village, and the village is in a somewhat precise location. You want to get it so you can get a discount on a sub that will place right next to the other sub, so we can beat the the mid game. And then we also want it so it can reach another village that will place in between Dart Monkey and Striker Jones. So I place it about there. Sometimes you'll get it so you can just buy the discounts and place the sub under the discounts. Sometimes it won't. If you can do that, you just place the sub like here. I could not. So I'll buy the range on the other village first, and then I'll get the sub upgrades. So we get that, and then we can place a sub under discounts right next to the alchemist on the other sub. And this guy's going to be on last, because on round 45, if you don't have him on last, you might die. So these purples are going to come. The sub on last will make sure it hits all the purples, because the other sub is distracted. And that is round 45. After round 45, or just after the purples, you can take that sub onto first and then upgrade it to tripled guns, and then that round will be fine. So moving on from that round, we're going to get another village going up. Round 47 can get very close. So what we will have to do is we have to stun a ceramic before the pinks come in, and I stun the ceramic too late, so it kind of get more close than necessary, but that round is still fine. So moving on, we'll get the village in here. As you can see, it's under the discount, which is a success. We just place it in between the Dart Monkey and Striker Jones. I usually tend to place it a little bit higher up, but you can see we can place a bomb all the way down here. That will be under village range, and then we'll upgrade it to 203. We'll get one of those right there so that we can beat 49, and I'm going to upgrade the village a bunch and then buy another one off to the other side. As far as out and in the range of the in both of the villages it will be, so that you can get all the buffs from it. To add some more consistency into the mid game, I'm going to be buying drums on the second village so we can speed buff all of these guys out here. And then I'm going to cross path the alchemist so all of the subs will have some juice. Now I'm going to work on some mob maulers on this other side to make sure that the pesky mobs don't get through on this side. These will be 130 because we get the first upgrade free. Later, when we get the primary expertise, we're going to go back and buy the second upgrade on all of them, because then they will be free. It's not worth it to spend that money just yet. So I'm going to get, I think it's 3 mob maulers and 1 mob assassin, and that will make sure that these rounds are easy. And there are a few abilities that we'll have to use with the concussive shell, the level 10, and the assassin. So I'll go over them real quick. On round 63, we're going to have to use the concussive shell on all 3 waves of the ceramics. It's really nice because when the next wave comes in, the concussive shell will already be off cooldown, so you just have to spam it, and then that will take care of 63. On 64, you're going to have to use 1 mob assassin ability when the first fortified mob comes out, and then I believe you can use concussive shell on the insides, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to speed it up and come back. So here's 63. Sometimes these waves get closer than other times, but if you use the ability at the right time, you will not die. 64 can be a little trickier because 64 is known for being a very stupid round. So let's see how it goes. The top side's going to be dealt with pretty quickly because there's a bunch of maulers up there, but that that fortified mob's going to come out. We use the assassin, and then the insides will get blown up right there. 65 will have the assassin come off cooldown, and then you're just gonna have to wait a bit, and then these BFBs will come out a bit later. These rounds are a little bit pesky to use, pesky to run, because they're way out and it takes a lot more time for the subs to shoot over. So these rounds that are on the side generally are a little bit tougher, which is annoying. So I use the assassin, I use the level 10, I use the assassin again, and I stun the insides, and the subs will clean up. Sometimes it can get very close, which is very annoying, but it is what it is. We have to save up right now, or else we won't get pecks in time. So we're going to continue on, and then there aren't really any hard rounds for a while. I'll come back when there are. You do want to stun this group of mobs. Just when they're on top of each other, you can stun them, and then that round will be fine. Not much there. Alright, so in round 73, we have more abilities to use. The BFB on that side will get taken out, but then we're going to have to assassin the BFB on that side, and the subs will clean up. I believe you can use a concussive shell on that one because it will regenerate for 75, because we don't have to use a concussive shell on 74. 74 is nothing, we're going to let that play out, but on 75 we're going to do a bunch of abilities and buy the primary expertise, and then we'll go on from there. So for 75, there's going to be a bunch of different waves of BFBs, and we want to use the assassins so that we can pop them into mobs, and then you can use the concussive shell to clean up, and then when you have enough money, you can buy primary expertise, and that cleans up very well. So I'm not going to use the assassin on that BFB up there because you can take it out super easily, but there's going to be a bunch of BFBs coming out from the bottom. You'll want to use the assassin, the level 10, the assassin again, and then you can use the concussive shell to stun it. And right now, we have enough money for primary expertise, so we get that. And then what we can do is buy the second upgrade on all of the maulers for free. So we get them all for free now, so let's just get them. I guess you could buy the free upgrades on the Dart Monkey. I never thought about it, but whatever. Now we're going to be buying some more maulers because our defense is really lacking and there's some pretty tough rounds coming up. So there's no like exact placement for the maulers. I just kind of pack them in, but you need to make some exclusions for a few other towers. I'm going to be getting some glues at the very top and the very bottom of each side so we can get the glue later on. But other than that, you just want to pack the entire range from the top side where we're going to have a bunch of maulers, and then on the bottom side we're going to have a bunch more. Round 77, use your stun. I completely forgot to, and I almost died there, so it would have been bad if I did, but you can use your stun there. So we're going to be getting some more maulers, and I'll come back later. So I cleared the truck, and I can put a balloon impact right there that will allow us to hold some of the ceramics. And with that side covered, I kind of have to focus on this side. I'm going to get a spiked balls up here with smart spikes on smart, so we can get all the spikes on the right lane. And this guy's gonna die super quickly, and then we'll just have enough money for the spike balls, and we'll already have alchemist on it, so that's fine. Now we're just going to be using all our abilities on this round, and if you use them, you will survive. It can get kind of close on the other side, but if you really want to, you can also try to buy some upgrades mid-round. The Spalls is going to keep the other side just fine, but this side with the impact, sometimes we'll get a little bit close. So now we have a ton of money. We're going to have to do some more upgrades. I'm going to start by getting another spike balls just for safety, and this will make a lot of the rounds a lot easier now. Sometimes a random ceramic can slip through a cryo cannon or balloon impact, so having the spalls there really makes things a lot safer. I'm going to get a cryo cannon right next to the balloon impact for these mid rounds, and because balloon impact doesn't really have enough pierce to take out everything, 83 is going to be fine, and I'm just going to go in with more of these maulers. So I had it on fast forward until the 90s because most of it is just placing stuff. You can see from the ability bar when I used abilities, they don't get used much here because it's mostly just a bunch of easy rounds and buying a ton of maulers. But I do get some mob glues, I do get another cryo cannon, and I think I alk the spike balls down there. But now, when we're in the 90s, things are going to be a little more difficult. These later rounds are not as difficult as the early game, but there are a lot of abilities that you need to keep in mind to use. So I do recommend having a note sheet down, and that will tell you which abilities to use when. I'm going to get a sabotage up here. You can place it just in range of the discounts, so you can save a little bit of money. And then we're going to be using that on DDTs, and also we can use the sabotage on round 97. I forgot to use the sabotage on round 97 and I died, so that's why it's important to have this note sheet, and you can refer to it when using abilities. On round 93, some DDTs are going to come out. When the DDTs come out, you can use an assassin and then use a stun. And some of the DDTs will reach the spalls, but there's enough spalls to clean up whatever is left. And that will beat 93. On 94, we can just use the level 20, which will give the Maulers double damage, which is quite overpowered. And then it also resets the assassin abilities. So when you use the level 20, you want to make sure you knock out all the assassins so you can get them reset. It's just free damage. After we get a bunch of the towers up, we get all the maulers that we can reasonably get. I don't get maulers towards the back there, because once you get maulers that far back, they don't do any damage. But after that, I will be upgrading all of these guys to mob assassins. And we're going to have a lot of mob assassins. We need a ton of mob assassins to kill the bad, but they also just do a ton of great damage. They're great DDT killers, and it pretty much replaces the ground zero. So that is very good, because you don't have to do any stupid ground zero timing. I bet a lot of people appreciate that. So I think at the end, we're going to have something like 11 mob assassins, which is quite a lot, and they're just going to be doing tons of damage. So round 95, as you saw, we want to wait a little bit to use the Sabo, because the Sabo won't last the whole time. So I use some assassins, and then I stun, and then I Sabo a little bit later. 96 will generally be pretty easy. Sometimes there's some stuff that leaks down to the spalls, but the spalls can handle it. Other than that, you're just using a bunch of stuns, and then you want to save the mob assassins for next round, because in 97, you're going to have to do a bunch of mob assassins to take out the big fortified layer. So we're going to get some more assassins, and then we'll get the fortified ZMG coming out. I'm going to use all the assassins to break that up, and then I'm going to Sabo to slow these down so we can get a little bit more damage onto them. There's going to be that one dies super quickly, and all focus will be on this ZOMG. You don't want to spam all the assassins, so I keep a few extra for 98, and then we can stun the insides, and the trebuchet and the spalls will clean up. Now for 98, we're going to have to use the level 20 super early, or else we won't get it in time for 100. So I use the assassins, use the level 20 immediately, use the assassins again, and then that will be enough damage to kind of take out the bulk of 98. So we'll only have some of the remains come out. Then we want to keep the assassins, because I'm going to need some on round 99 to take out the DDTs. So that's going to pass, and we'll have Sabo back up again. We can buy another assassin too. So on 99, right before the DDTs come out, we Sabo, and then we use some of the assassins, not all of them, but enough so that we can just concussive shell the insides and clean up. And we have 6 left. That's definitely a good number to keep in the back corner for 100. And for 100, we just use all the assassins, and then when we get level 20 up, we're we're going to hit it, use all these stats again, the bad's going to go down, and then the rest will be easy. And that is your Bloody Puddles Chimps black border, just like that. I hope you can beat this, and let me know what you think, and if there are any hard rounds. Again, if someone makes a comment with a written guide and the coordinates for early game, I will pin you.